Good morning, everybody. Oh, pardon me. How are you all doing? We doing well? Oh, it's a Sunday, everybody. Nearly the start of the new week, end of the weekend. Anyone got anything fun planned today? I'm excited for this stream, actually. I always am. I always say that, I think. But I'm really excited for today's stream. How are we all doing? We'll give it a minute or two to let everyone sort of filter in. Then we'll get started. Jarrad Branthwaite, we're going to be discussing today how that deal has sort of revived itself. Oh no, I was quite surprised by it, actually. Let me know how we're all doing in the chat. Have you had a good weekend? I've had a really good weekend, actually. Had a really good weekend. Lots to discuss. Lots and lots to discuss. If anyone can guess what top on I've got today, who's the man on the back of my shirt? WY, good morning, mate. How you doing? Morning, Kidali. I'll see you at the start of the stream. Give it another minute or two to let some more people filter in. I hope we're all doing well today, guys. Lots of news to discuss. Lots of news, as per. I'm really excited. Morning, Adam. I haven't seen you in a bit. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Basnik. God, everyone's here today. Hope we're doing well. Shall we get into this, everybody? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MPB Morning Show. I'm your host, Alex, at Alex Talksall, and I'm really, really confused with everything at Manchester United at the moment, specifically in the case of Jarrad Branthwaite. While the deal seemed to be dead in the water yesterday, United have seemingly dragged it out of the cold, dark depths of the ocean and given repeated CPR on it. And it may just be savable, the deal for Jarrad Branthwaite to Manchester United yet. If you're all excited for that and so much more, including the delays on Joshua Zirkzee and Dan Ashworth, if you're as frustrated as I am, leave a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. We're aiming for 50 likes today, as usual. And as always, get involved in the chat down below. It is a community, it is a family here on the MPB Morning Show, and I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, and how you're feeling at the moment. But the first agenda on the newsreel today is Jarrad Branthwaite, unsurprisingly. Yesterday I spoke about how it was, I get caught wrong in football a lot. I get told that Manchester United, look, the deal for Jarrad Branthwaite is off pretty much because Dominic Calvert-Lewin could be going to Newcastle. That's Everton's sort of issues financially sorted out. They just won't sell Jarrad Branthwaite. And then Simon Jones sort of shocks all of us yesterday. He's been probably the most valuable player in this transfer saga so far. He says Manchester United are preparing to submit a second offer for Everton centre-back Jarrad Branthwaite. Off the bat, I'm quite happy about that. Let me explain. Let's look at the source itself. So Simon Jones, he's been phenomenal so far this window. I think he's been really, really good, really accurate. The only thing I'd say he's been off with is he spoke about Joshua Zirkzee and submitting a bid for him. I think he jumped the gun a little bit. Apart from that, he's been flawless, especially on the Jarrad Branthwaite deal. So I'd really take all of this as gospel. And then when it comes for the bid itself, he broke this. Jarrad Branthwaite, this sort of news, Simon Jones broke. So I'm really, really excited about it. And they're preparing to submit an offer. I think, so the Muppeteers have said that we were talking to Everton. Conversation with them never really died down, even with their financial issues seemingly solved. There seems to be a willingness on Everton's side to do a deal at their acceptable price. So I think what's going to be really interesting about this bid is what the sort of sum is. Chat, let me know right off the bat. How do you think, what sort of transfer fee do you reckon United can be submitting? Personally, I think we'll be going for 45 million plus add-ons sort of bid. That's what I think. If I was taking a complete guess, that's what I would guess to be the transfer value of the bid going in. Joe says Simon Jones got the first Jarrad Branthwaite wrong. Did he? I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure. WY says 50 million bid will do it. I think what's going to be really telling with this deal is whether Everton talk about it or not. If they discuss it, if they sort of accept the dialogue on the deal and they converse with us back. Because the last one, they thought it was unacceptable, turned it down straight away. That's what Everton did. And I think if they don't give us any leeway on this, or any even sort of negotiation on this bid, look, I think the deal's dead in the water. I think it's a really, really important next few days of the Jarrad Branthwaite deal. Muddervan says he's not going to join. Everton seem to have managed their financial crisis with other deals with Villa. We'll talk about that near the end of the stream, actually. We'll get to the United stuff. If we've got some time at the end, we'll discuss just how honestly bonkers it is that clubs are just selling academy players for £20 million. It's the equivalent. What they're valuing players at is they're valuing like an 18-year-old, relatively unknown academy player for £20 million. That's like selling me for £1 million. If their valuation is correct, I'm worth £1 million. And I'm not brilliant at football, guys. That's sort of what shocks me. Kadali says, I need new players to come. Now I'm sick about Man United. No one is coming. Considering FC, says RBF. Bocco the MC says, what's the work of Dan Ashworth? We'll talk about Dan Ashworth very soon, my friend. It'll be quite a frustrating sort of video, I think. It's going to be a frustrating stream because not a lot is really going on. Parsifal says, will big add-ons like we did for Bruno do it? That's probably the way around it. Adam Cabot says, I'm guessing Ahmad on the back. Yes, it's Ahmad Diallo on the back of my shirt. Adam Calvert says, I'm priceless. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate this, chat. You big me up sometimes, and you definitely shouldn't. But yes, no, when it comes to Branthwaite, I think it'll be 45 million plus add-ons. I reckon they'll counter with, you know what, no, if I was to predict the way this goes forward is we'll put in a bid. I think it gets flat out rejected. And I think we get scared that there's no other centre-backs on the market at all. Bassett says, did we agree personal terms with Branthwaite? Yes, we have. We've agreed deals with his agents, with the intermediaries. So look, Branthwaite is willing to join. He's not going to force his way out, I don't think. I don't think he's going to force his way out. That's sort of my problem with this. I don't think he's going to force his way out. Dan says, it is not considering FC if they're currently working on deals. The newspapers just link us with players and you think it is considering. I mean, Branthwaite, we are considering. I mean, look at Simon Jones is literally saying we are preparing to submit. I know Jithian Joseph is quite is a little bit sceptical of Simon Jones. I think he's been fantastic in the saga. I think he's been really, really, really good. I'm gonna be quite optimistic that he's right. And he also breaks the news earlier than anyone else. Maybe he might not get the fee right, but he's certainly getting the timings right. He's keen on the moon, which can only be a good thing, says Carver. Yeah, it's only a good thing, but he's not going to force his way out of the club. There's been no indication from Jarrad Branthwaite that he's going to force his way out of Everton Football Club. But I said earlier, just a second ago, that we might overpay for Jarrad Branthwaite because there's no other real value in the centre-back market. This sort of leads on to me being a bit heartbroken, everybody. If you've been watching my streams for a while, you'll know my love fest with Lenny Yoro. In my opinion, the best youth prospect in the world. He's a potential generation-defining talent for his position. He can be remembered in the same way we say Vincent Kompany, in the same way we say Sergio Ramos, in the same way we'd say Maldini, in the same way we'd say Pepe, in the same way we'd say Vidic, Ferdinand, all the rest. Honestly, the same way we'd remember Avran. In the same way we remember, I don't know. Let's look at one day example, Virgil van Dijk. That's how good I think Lenny Yoro is. And unsurprisingly, he's going to Real Madrid. He's going to go to Real Madrid. He informed the club yesterday, apparently. Mario Cortega broke that news, which really made me really happy. I know I think I was quite optimistic with it. And I think this chat has told me off for a while for getting my hopes up on it. But yeah, look, it's not I'm not happy about it. And that's why I do think United are going to look at this Jarrad Branthwaite deal and go, okay, we have to sort of push for that now because who else are we going to sign? Todibo's not on the market. Todibo, as much as I don't like him, really good value signing. Jean-Claude Todibo, £25 million, mwah, chef's kiss, bring him immediately. Because while I don't like the player, you don't pass up on signing a player of that calibre for that low value. Apart from that, there's Gonzalo Inacio, who we're linked with. Stay far away from him. He's the new Lindelof. Spoke about him a lot on yesterday's stream. If anyone wants to hear that again, let me know. But do you guys think of anyone else on the centre-back market who you'd want? Malp says the host actually looks similar to Branthwaite. So in the space of a few days, Malps, if this is your first time on the stream, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. I get compared to Thomas Frank every once in a while. Now Jarrad Branthwaite. So two quite different people. Yoro is the new Varane, it says. Malps, you know what? When Jean-Claude Todibo gets compared to Raphael Varane, I laugh at it. When Yoro gets linked to gets compared to Raphael Varane, I accept it. Very similar profiles, personally. We'll get Yoro when he's 29. We'll get Yoro when he's 33. when he wants to go in the Premier League. Honestly, that's what's going to happen. Murdervan says Rabiot is coming to United. Again, his mother's going to stop it. His mother is going to stop it, unfortunately. His mother's going to stop it. Adam Calvert says, no scheming. Liverpool have stuck their nose in. Bocco says, are we moving in the right direction on our transfer? I think we are. Not for good reasons. I think, chat, let me know. Is there any other centre-back you'd rather have? Because I'd rather spend 2 sort of centre-back sort of funds, 35, 40 million pounds, invest that into Jarrad Branthwaite and only sign 1 centre-back than sign 2 subpar centre-backs. I'll read out a report from Jay Percy Telegraph. He's a really quite reputable journalist. I wouldn't mind some corroboration on this. I don't think he sourced this incorrectly. I think United are definitely looking at the player I'm about to say. But I don't know how high up on the list he is. He says, Manchester United are considering Max Kilman on a long list of potential options and could yet move in this window. It's players like that I don't want at my football club. Look, nothing against the player. I think he would do a really good job at a West Ham, at a Spurs, at a sort of fighting for Europe sort of spot. He'd be a really good signing for an Aston Villa, maybe a Newcastle United. It's like sort of Lloyd Kelly-esque signing. It's sort of, you know what? It's quite it's quite average. It's quite average. None of these players are average, but it's very average with a level of Manchester United. I would rather bring in a Jarrad Branthwaite and then wait for next year when there's another centre-back prospect on the market who we'd look at. Or you buy a Jarrad Branthwaite, maybe keep everybody, and next year move for Anselmino. Or if we can, sell Lindelof and try and move for Anselmino this year. So it's that's what I'd sort of go for. I'd rather invest in Jarrad Branthwaite solely than bring in average centre-backs. That's just sort of my feelings. His mother sounds like a dragon, says Adam Calvert. Yeah, that's Rabiot's mother for you. We need Yoro and Inacio. We don't want Gonzalo Inacio. We don't want him on the ball. He's a top 5, top 3 ball-playing defender in the world. I believe that wholeheartedly. He'd be great. But actually, he'd work in a back 3. I could see Inacio, Lisandro Martinez, like a Harry Maguire back 3 working. But apart from that, I wouldn't really be keen. Rabiot news, apparently. What Rabiot news? Oh, good God. Thank you, WI. We'll talk about this in just a second. Had some breaking news on the chat, everybody, about Adrien Rabiot from caught offside. We'll talk about that in just a second. Stay with me for 2 minutes. Adam Calvert says he wants £400,000 a week, the greedy beggar. You lot don't like Rabiot. You can see what we're about to talk about. Ramos is available on a free. Haven't we learned our lesson about signing older players at this point, chat? Haven't we learned our lesson? Have we not? Jithian Joseph says we could go for Ricardo Cagliafiori, William Pacho, John Lutumi, as well as left centre-back and sign a second right centre-back. I mean, Cagliafiori, I'm going to make an effort now to watch Italian games now. You lot have been speaking about Cagliafiori to me for weeks now, sorry. So look, I'll tune into him. How about that, chat? I'll make you a deal. I'll tune into Cagliafiori. Telly says Zirkzee is perfect for United. He's perfect. Except he's taking a bloody age to get here. But we'll talk about that very, very soon. If we want a player who is versatile, who can play centre-back and left-back, we should go for David Hanko from Slovenia of Feyenoord. Just go for Branthwaite. Just go for Jarrad Branthwaite. Honestly, I think I'm resigned now to overpaying for Jarrad Branthwaite to be okay. Anything above £60 million, I don't love. But I would do a £60 million bid flat, and I think that gets accepted. Honestly. Dan says, doesn't he want about £300,000 or £400,000 a week? Yeah, he does. He will. I think we're being used. No matter what this report is saying, and I'll read it out in a second. Look, I don't really love it. Who just says, hey, Alex, do you think Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof will be sold? The Muppeteers hinted at the fact that they'd be going to Turkey, apparently. But chat, let's talk about, circle back to Branthwaite for a second. Would you rather, I want to see yes or no's in the chat. I want to see yes and no. Would you rather sign just Jarrad Branthwaite and no other centre-back, or would you rather sign 2 potentially more average, more squad-building centre-backs? Which would you rather have? Jarrad Branthwaite or 2 other centre-backs, like a Cagliafiori and a Max Kilman, per se? Or an Inacio and a Max Kilman, something like that. That sort of combination. Chat, let me know in the chat. Let me know. Want to see a stream. Muravan says £55 million plus add-ons, £55 million max. Says KD. Thing is that I really wouldn't mind Jarrad Branthwaite being an option. An option who we spend quite a lot of money on. Like, if we're going to spend big this summer, sign Jarrad Branthwaite. He's the only good centre-back in the market. Here's quite an interesting thing, which Tactical Masterclass is saying. We should buy Tolero anyway and not play him in the Europa League. Swedish Rumble said the rule is we can't play him in the same competition, so he can play in the domestic league. It just sounds a bit complicated to me. It just sounds a bit complicated. Who says my thoughts on Diamonde? I haven't watched enough of him, unfortunately. I know he's great on Football Manager, but I'm not going to exactly say that's comparable. Dan says, isn't it crazy? Those clubs are selling academy players for twice as much as Manchester United can sell a Swedish international centre-back. They are doing illegal things, Dan. They're not exactly playing by the rules. They're not playing by the rules, my friend. So look, at least I respect United for not putting me on the market for £1 million. Let's put it like that. We'll talk about that at the end of the stream, though. Stick around to the end. We'll do a little bit of a deep dive on it, if you guys want me to. Wow, Nashon says, I don't think Branthwaite will be a good signing because he'd be a backup for Lisandro Martinez. We're paying him £160,000 a week if he joins. He's not coming to sit on the bench, mate. He's not coming to sit on the bench. Hiya, Yinka, mate. How are we doing? Does it sound complicated, says Dan? Because everybody says we should rotate the team in the Europa League anyway. What happens if all our players get injured? Depth is there for a reason, so you can rotate them in all competitions. And we saw this year just how easy it is for centre-backs to drop off the map. Maguire, Lindelof, Casemiro then dies. We then lose Lisandro Martinez for half a season. We lose Shaw, our backup left centre-back. He's out and forced to play Casemiro at the back, but he doesn't know how to get in a defensive shape. Like, come on. Well, Katie says Inácio plus Kilman tops Branthwaite alone. Huda says Caliafiori and Delix, that's Diamonde. Diamonde's going to be too expensive to bring alongside another centre-back. Zane says, don't know if you know, but Edson Alvarez got injured. He's out of the whole Copa America. I know. It probably puts an end to the Alvarez talks about, which, you know what, I never wish an injury on a player ever. I hope he gets better soon. I wish him all the best in the future. But, look, I'm not mad that the links are going to stop now. I'm not mad. Who says, I'm still rooting for us to go for the links as he proved himself all over the world. He hasn't. He proved himself at Ajax. Don't see he's really proved himself at Bayern Munich. Chat, let me know, who would you rather bring in? De Ligt will probably cost an arm and a leg plus his wages. Would you rather Matthijs De Ligt or Jarrad Branthwaite? Would you rather bring in two very quite powering defensive sort of box defenders? Both really quite tall, strong in the air, really quite engaging in tackles, really, really physical in them as well. Branthwaite's got the versatility. Matthijs De Ligt has big club experience. He's played under Erik ten Hag before. He knows his system. He's played under a variety of managers, from Thomas Tuchel to Hansi Flick to Julian Nagelsmann. But then again, Jarrad Branthwaite's had a very interesting footballing upbringing. He's gone to PSV, played under Ruud van Nistelrooy, in a very sort of progressive style of football. Then again, Jarrad Branthwaite's also played under Sean Dyche, playing this very, I hate to use the word, but Brexit-style football. Both players, in many ways, have quite cultured upbringings, but very, very, very different as well. Who would you rather have? Adam Calvert says the Europa League, we should take it seriously, as it could be our main route for our return to the Champions League. If that's our main route to the Champions League, says Adam May, no. Robert Niesia says £50 million for the next Maguire. Is that about De Ligt or Branthwaite, Robert? Let me know. Nashon says, so will Branthwaite bench Martinez or will they be paired together? If it was me deciding, I would have Lisandro Martinez and Jarrad Branthwaite rotating as a centre-back and a left-back, and have Harry Maguire as a right centre-back with Dalot on the right. That's my opinion. Or you have a 5-back and have Luke Shaw, Branthwaite as a left centre-back, Lisandro Martinez as a central centre-back, Harry Maguire as a right centre-back, and then you throw Dalot as a right-back. That's me. I don't think they play. I don't think you should rotate those two players. I think you play them together personally. I just think they complement each other so well. I can't get over how much I'd love to see a Jarrad Branthwaite and a Lisandro Martinez sort of playing on the same pitch. That makes me really, really excited, chat. That makes me really, really excited. Katie says Branthwaite over De Ligt for me. I agree with you. Who just says all these transfer players above 25 is pointless as new transfer policy bars us from signing them. Wait till we talk about Adrien Rabiot, my friend. Wait till we talk about that. Who says why don't we sign both Jarrad and De Ligt? Unless we sell Harry Maguire for a loss of money, that's not happening. That's not happening. WY says Maguire isn't good enough. That's such a lie. Chat. No. Yes or no's in the chat. Harry Maguire isn't good enough for Manchester United. No. Maguire is too slow. No, he's not. I want to hear the chat here. Because we've had this discussion before, but we've got quite a few new people in the chat today. So let me know if Harry Maguire is good enough to play for Manchester United. Cabot says Tyler Adams, ex-Leeds of Akami. Are you mad? Yeah. I'm not exactly going to be calling for Tyler Adams to be coming to United. Who says my thoughts on Danzo? I've watched enough of him in Austria, but that Austrian side is incredible. Like, they've been the most impressive side of the tournament so far. Disagree with me if I'm wrong. Charles Zeno says stop using Zirkzee as a clickbait, mate. We're talking about Zirkzee in a few minutes, mate. Trust me. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're talking about Zirkzee so soon. Dan Mazungu says, as a box defender, Harry Maguire is one of the best in the league. Harry Maguire struggles when he's told to play in the halfway line and do a recovery tackle, that's all. When you're pairing alongside Jarrad Branthwaite and he's fit and not being run into the ground, he's fine. WY, he isn't good enough. Do you really think Harry Maguire would start for City? No. May I remind you, mate, that we beat Manchester City to the signing of Harry Maguire. So, hey-ho. Matata says, unless you are a British nationalist, you would admire Maguire. Try saying that 10 times, chat. I'm not. I'm British. But no, it's not that. Pep Guardiola loves him. You don't see him being a Brit, do you? Oscar says Frimpong to replace Wan-Bissaka. Who says no? Me. Me. Very different players. Very different profiles. You don't replace those sort of players. To the Joseph Maguire's liability. God, you lot aren't happy. Okay, fine. Let's sort of round up this centre-back talk very quickly. Jarrad Branthwaite seems to be the man we're going to go for, I think. I really do think United are going to go full steam ahead for Jarrad Branthwaite. They're going to put whatever money Everton really need. They're going to negotiate a little bit. I think we get the deal done. 55 plus £10 million of semi-achievable add-ons. I think that's fair. I think it puts United in a semi-good light. I think it gets Everton the money they need. I do think Jarrad Branthwaite wants to come to United. I do think he might push a little bit. Dan says, yes, Harry Maguire would play for Manchester City because they've got Kyle Walker to cover up for his recovery speed. Dallow's quick. We don't really talk about Dallow's speed whatsoever on this channel. Whenever we talk about him, that boy is rapid. Andre beat Man City because we paid more. Exactly. Harry Maguire would have done so much better for City than Ruben Diaz had. I promise you. Branthwaite will play right centre-back because he is both-footed. This is very well known, says WY. I wouldn't say he's two-footed. He's good on both feet. It's like what Varane can do. He reminds me of Varane in his ability to play both feet. Bassett says, Kim Min-jae not happy at Bayern. Can we pull him? I think Company's intending to use him, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Company's intending to use him. I'm always going to talk about Joshua Zirkzee next, but stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to be talking about Adrien Rabiot, everybody. Some news that just broke on stream for the first time in a long time. News actually broke on stream. It's exciting. Caught Offside came out with a report saying Erik ten Hag has made Adrien Rabiot his priority midfield target this summer. Just looking at the source itself, Caught Offside are an okay outlet. They work alongside Fabrizio Romano. They have some excellent journalists there. I would love some corroboration. I would adore some corroboration. The fact that I always ask you guys, look at the perspective of the report. What side of the story is it coming from? Seems to me, it's coming from Erik ten Hag's side. Look at it. He's Erik ten Hag's priority midfield target. To me, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I don't like it whenever I see an Erik ten Hag sort of driven story because it says to me that he's dictating transfer policy, which I don't like. Which I don't like whatsoever. Okay, I think I'm back. There we go. We disappeared for a second. Sorry, chat. Okay, cool. We're back. I said Rabiot on a free, says Mudden Valden. It's a financial thing, mate. I think when it comes to Adrien Rabiot, you know what? No, let's play hypothetical. Let's say his wage demands are somewhat reasonable. Let's say they're somewhat reasonable, chat. Would you take Adrien Rabiot at Manchester United? Pure hypothetical. Pure hypothetical. Let me know down. Jithian Joseph says keep Erik ten Hag away from the transfers or sack him. Exactly. I'm going to speak about. You know what? We'll talk about this alongside another report. Plettigol puts out a. You know how much I like Plettigol as well. Put out a very agent-driven report saying Manchester United have inquired about West Ham midfielder Edson Alvarez in recent days and have gathered information about the figures and his plans. His price evaluation is estimated to be between, hold your breath on this one, 60 million to 80 million euros. Good God. Erik ten Hag has a high opinion of Alvarez. It's terrifying. But again, look at the source. Look at the perspective of the source. It's Erik ten Hag. Typically, Plettigol will work through agents. And you know what? Here, it doesn't seem like it's come from an agent. It's come from Erik ten Hag himself. So that's in 2 days. You've got 2 reports about Erik ten Hag trying to bring in a midfielder that suits him. That terrifies me. Honestly, it terrifies me. Very quickly, chat, if you're enjoying the stream so far and you want to talk about Adrien Rabiot, Edson Alvarez, and soon Amadou Onana in the midfield position, hit that subscribe button. I'm here every day at 11 a.m, bringing you the latest and greatest transfer news. And of course, hit the subscribe button as well so you never miss an upload. And follow us on mufcMPB on Twitter. So Alex also on Twitter so you never miss one of my streams. Adam Calvert says, yeah, he has played all right for France. Could be a good addition. Rabiot is a physical specimen. And you know how much I like my midfielders being strong, being powerful, being tall, being dominant. He doesn't cover that much ground. Is a bit of an issue for me. I don't love him defensively. I mean, you lot are saying Kante. What? What are we talking about N'Golo Kante, chat? Only would take Kante over Rabiot any day. I know he's doing quite well at the Euros, but international football, I'm never going to trust wholly. Never going to trust international football wholly. Good God, chat. God. But everyone says, I would take on a fee, but that will cover the wages. So it's signing him for £5 million transfer fee. The problem with... No, you know what? No. The problem with the wages isn't the sort of the money it will add on. It will snap the wage structure in half, which is what we're desperately trying not to do under Ineos. We're really trying to be sensible, be really good about our money. So look, I'm going to be quite hesitant about the sort of wage effects of the transfer fee. It's not really. It's pretty much just the wage structure. He was ace at Leicester. It's about Kante. Boys, Leicester was 10 years ago nearly. Chat. No. We cannot be seriously considering bringing N'Golo Kante to Manchester United. We seriously can't be. Wow. Dan says Eric wanted Kane, and nobody would complain. He wanted Frankie, nobody would complain. He wanted Kim Min-jae, nobody would complain. Problem is, Dan, he brought in Anthony for 100 million euros. I no longer trust him. This window, he's shot for Edson Alvarez. He's shot for Adrien Rabiot. Nah, very different. If he wanted Frankie, go get Frankie now. Barcelona need to sell. Go get him. Bassett says Rabiot is McTominay without goals. I find that quite funny. He's not. Scott McTominay is better than Adrien Rabiot, but that's going to upset some of you, isn't it? That's not going to go down brilliantly. The only decent replacements for Casemiro is Højlund or Mats Weifer. Oh, you know what? I was at the pub with my family on holiday for the England game, and I spoke about Højlund, how we're looking to sign him. And just I'm speaking about Højlund, he scores that 25-30 yard screamer against us. Oh, I've never been so frustrated in my life, chat. I was not a happy man. Frankie doesn't fancy us, mate, says Mudovan. Yeah, but you can at least try. We tried for Lenny Yoro. I want to see some ambition. National says, actually, João Neves is good for Manchester United, though he's highly rated. He would be great for United, not happening this summer, though. I think João Neves next summer. Yeah, keep an eye on that. João Neves next summer, yeah. Dan says, so you see, you just proved my points. Whenever you think about his transfer, you think Anthony, and he wanted Anthony at 35 million. You're thinking of one player. Well, maybe you're right, but still no. I know he didn't sanction the transfer fee, but he definitely pushed for Anthony to come to Manchester United. Honestly, hey ho. But you know what? Adrien Rabiot, Edson Alvarez. Let's have a little talk about Amadou Onana, shall we, chat? Did everyone see him play for Belgium yesterday? What a footballer! Oh, chat, have you been watching the Euros? That's one of my favourite performances of the Euros so far. Defensively sound. On the ball, he looked wonderful. Everyone says that, he's a bit clunky, he moves a little bit out of Wan-Bissaka. No, he does not. That was a wonderful performance from Amadou Onana. Adam Calvert says, I'm not watching the Euros. The matches are totally boring. I disagree. Big games against big nations would be truly dreadful. Then watch the smaller games. Honestly, best game I watched this tournament, Georgia-Turkey. I became Georgian by the end of that game. I'm telling you. Tattooed across my face and everything. KD, Eric knows what he's doing. Only one needs to look at the gems he created at Ajax. Brought through Garnacho and Kobe. Brought Martins and Hoyland the fee for Anthony as the club. You make a convincing argument. I'm going to dispute the Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo. Garnacho, no. I'll give Everton hard credit for Alejandro Garnacho. He's done really well with him. Kobe Mainoo was always going to be Kobe Mainoo. He was always going to be Kobe Mainoo. And there's no doubt about that. He was always going to be Kobe Mainoo. But again, you got to see him. I remember a few weeks ago speaking about Erik ten Hag, about how poor his transfers were. Chat, let me know. Erik ten Hag, should he be allowed considerable control over transfers? Especially considering, I'll read a report out now very quickly. Reluctant Nico reports that Manchester United are ready to wait another 9 months for Dan Ashworth to start work as their new sporting director. Insiders revealed he may not be able to start until March 2025. Say Nico is correct. Look, I'm not... Nico is, I feel, very hit or miss because he gets these most amazing scoops. Sometimes he's a little bit off the mark. I think he's an excellent journalist overall, though. I have some corroboration on it, but say that report is true, would you give Erik ten Hag control over this transfer window? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Talk about Zirkzee with that Hoyland haircut. You think I've got a Hoyland haircut? What? How have I been compared to both Hoyland and Jarrad Branthwaite in one stream? How? Jithian Joseph says only Martinez is a good transfer by Erik ten Hag. We're having to rid of Casemiro after 2 years. I think we're always going to have to do that with Casemiro. Also, a report came out from The Athletic saying Eric wanted Declan Rice. So I'm going to defend Eric a little bit there. Apparently there's going to be a few more pieces of news coming throughout the show as well, guys. I've just been told about that. So if you don't want to miss at all, hit that like button. We've got some more news coming very, very soon, hopefully. Sorry, I was just checking something, just making sure no more news have dropped. Parsons says, sell Casemiro, buy Onana, keep Amrabat. Your 6 is sorted for the season. Chat, let me know. You can sign 2 midfielders this summer. Actually, no. No. We'll do 1 midfielder. I'll be really harsh on you lot. 1 midfielder this summer. Let's say Rabiot, Onana. We've got Hoyland. You've got keeping Amrabat potentially. Any other player, Edison. If you could only keep 1 midfielder at United, who would it be? Especially now the Adrien Rabiot links seem to be getting closer and closer to being genuine. How do we feel about it? How do we feel? Adam Calvert, Rice has been embarrassing for England. Keep giving the ball away. No, he hasn't. He's not been embarrassing. He's one of the best players in the one of the best players in the tournament so far, personally. Now you do look at when Hoyland first came to United. I have a similar haircut. Leave me alone, chat. Leave me alone. Stabo says Eric needs to get on board with the club's strategy and stay off recruitment, or we can bounce end of next season. We can find way better coaches next summer. I like your point. It's coaches, not managers. Coaches is what we want. Chithin Joseph says Eric wanted too many and Kane as well. A load of waffles about players who we never had a chance. These are his PR, that he was not back despite spending £400 million in 2 years. Chat, what do you think about that? Very contrasting opinion to what some of you were saying. Let me know. Let me know. I'm talking about Zirkzee soon, mate. I'm talking about Zirkzee soon. And guys, if you're enjoying the stream, we're 7 likes away from 30 likes. I'd love to hit that target today, chat. It would mean the world to me if we can reach that. And if you're new to the stream, hit that subscribe button. Over 60% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. If you don't want to miss a single stream of mine, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. United can't do any midfielders in the market. We can. We can. Chuckzinho says, I would get Fofana from Monaco. Dylan McBennett, a very good friend of mine, a journalist for Attacking Football, a very good site, has constantly spoken about Fofana and how we're in constant talks with his representatives. To me, if we can't get maybe an Amadou Onana, if we can't get an Adrien Rabiot perchance, we might move on to a Fofana. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. Shall we, in a second, move on to Joshua Zirkzee, chat? And delay, which seems to be the word summing up United at the moment. But any last thoughts on the number 6 role? Any last thoughts? Katie says, Eric works best under the system he had at Ajax, under a proper footballing CEO, a DOF and a technical director. They pick players to buy and give the manager the say on which one would fit best. You know what? I'm going to talk about this very quickly. Because I've been very harsh on Eric. Transfers-wise, the last few weeks, I was speaking about it a lot. But Erik ten Hag, that system works a lot when there's trust. There needs to be trust. In any job in the world, there needs to be a trust between the different levels. You need to have trust from your owners, from your boss. They trust you to do your job. And you need to have trust in them to provide you the adequate circumstances, the adequate equipment for you to do your job. So I take my job, for example. I stream, but I trust that my boss will get me a thumbnail, give me a title, will support the stream, will give me feedback. If that didn't, and that's why I trust him, and that's why I commit to the job, and that's why I allow him to make the decision, because there's been a long-standing trust there. Erik ten Hag hasn't had that trust at United. I mean, who was it? It was Adrien Joseph talking about the idea that it's all been PR. But he has gone for Declan Rice. He has gone for Tchouaméni. He has gone for Kane. He's gone for Frenkie de Jong. And United didn't do their due diligence. With Kane, we simply just didn't spend the money. With Declan Rice, we chose Casemiro over him. With Frenkie de Jong, we weren't smart enough to find out about the hidden wages. There's a lack of trust there between the two sides. At Erik ten Hag at Ajax, under that footballing structure, the structure was at the time, was fantastic. The youth setup was wonderful, bringing up these young players, Frenkie de Jong, Matthijs de Ligt. You had Donny van der Beek, all being born and bred and trained through that academy, bringing in players who suited it, like Anthony, like a Hakim Ziyech. You had Sebastian Haller come through. You had Missouri there as well. Andre Onana. You had these players who sort of fit the philosophy and were brought in to suit Erik ten Hag's system because he knew that Mark Overmars, the sporting director, would trust him. So that trust was built over a long-established period of time. Erik ten Hag was coming to the club and he was let down. And I don't think he really cares that there's new management in charge, to be honest with you. I don't think he cares. I think he wants proof that they're going to trust him. And once they start trusting him, he's going to trust them back. And once they make a few good signings, say we don't get Branthwaite, and we pick a diamond out of the rough for a centre-back. And he's brilliant. Erik ten Hag, the trust in them goes up immediately. In the same way Klopp trusted Edwards when he brought in Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah or Roberto Firmino instead of a Julian Draxler or a Brandt. I think that's who Jurgen Klopp wanted to bring in. So it's that sort of trust that has to be established. And once that's established, then I think Erik ten Hag will rein away a little bit. So I'm going to be fair to him there. He does work well under that structure, KD, but it requires trust. Like in any job in the world, it requires trust. But I've delayed it long enough. You lot are quite frustrated at me. Adam Calvert certainly is. Let's talk about Joshua Zirkzee, ladies and gents. First little check for news, in case there's any. Joshua Zirkzee, everybody. First of all, we'll start positive. Sky Sports reported yesterday that Manchester United are now leading the race to sign Joshua Zirkzee ahead of other clubs. This is sort of at odds with people like Fabrizio Romano, who are still saying it's a bit of an open race. AC Milan still believe they're in it. I believe there was another report as well. Pete Hall, ever reliable, says Manchester United are closing in on the signing of Bologna striker Joshua Zirkzee. AC Milan have begun looking for alternatives. That headline is a little bit misleading. I don't love it. As he later on says, Manchester United have made contact with Joshua Zirkzee's agents, Kia Jorbichan, but no offer is on the table yet. United are willing to meet Zirkzee's £34 million release clause. So, look, it's not close. We're just ahead. That's all it is. I think AC Milan are moving on to Tammy Abraham of Roma, if I'm not mistaken, in an effort to get Tammy's career back on track. And yeah, guys, let's hit 40 likes on the video today, guys. We're 5 likes away from 30. Then we can be pushing for the big 40 bomb. Katie says, fair enough. Exactly. I do get your point. I do get your point, pal. I do get your point. But look, positive news. Joshua Zirkzee, everybody. Everything's going well. I mean, Zirkzee's, this is words in Pete Hall, Zirkzee's agent, Kia Jorbichan, had been demanding substantial commission from Milan. Relations between the super agents and Milan are difficult, meaning Jorbichan is unlikely to lower his asking price for them. The figure United expect to pay is much less. I mean, I believe this report. The Muppeteers themselves have said it themselves. And I'm in the chat saying right now, Zirkzee will be the first summer one coming. Zirkzee will be here July the 3rd. Zirkzee will only happen after June 30th. So you're not quite excited that he might be coming soon. And you know what? These reports seem to indicate that it will be coming soon. Pete Hall, excellent journalist. He's really sort of been the breakout start of the transfer window so far when it comes to journalism. I really trust Sky Sports. They're usually quite good on these sort of things. The problem is, everybody, it's two things. It can't happen until after the 30th of July because if I find the report, Joshua Zirkzee's release clause is active from July the 1st and will expire in early August. This is 86 Longo. Yeah, I heard that a while ago. I was told that, and it's nice to see that it's true. So we will have to wait till the 1st of July. The problem is, everybody, I'm going to try and say his name right. Luca Bianchin. At Luca Bianchin 7 on X or Twitter, he says that Joshua Zirkzee doesn't want to decide on his future until the end of the Netherlands' participation in the Euros. Womp, womp, womp. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I was excited as well when I saw all that coming out. And then it's just a wet balloon. Yeah, did MUFP already put out a report that Zirkzee would decide after the Euros? Exactly what I said, my friend. Exactly what I said. But yeah. It's quite frustrating, isn't it? I think it will probably be after the Euros now. I want to see some corroboration on that. It's not of a journalist I'm that familiar with. It's Italian, obviously. Which will mean it's a Bologna sort of report. It's not Dutch. I'd love a Dutch report confirming that, as Joshua Zirkzee's Dutch himself and he's around the Netherlands camp. So, look, I'm going to wait for that. Pardon me. Charzino says, why is it so quiet today about transfers? It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday, everybody. Day of rest. Day of rest, everybody. Tithian Joseph says, I like the lack of trust because of what he did with £400 million first 2 years. Tottenham were demanding 125, 130 million euros for Kane from Premier League clubs. He was not let down. He asked for power and failed to take responsibility. Yeah. Bassett says, Wakehorse starting over Zirkzee makes me wonder if he's really that good. The problem is, mate, is that it's Ronald Koeman in charge. And I'm not the most trusting of Koeman as a manager. So, hey-ho. So, look. And also, it's about Weghorst. He's brilliant in a Dutch shirt. That man puts a Dutch shirt on. He's Cristiano Ronaldo in added time. Honestly. I don't know how he does it. His late goals, how clutch he is. That goal against Argentina. Who was the goal against in the 83rd minute? God. The dopamine rush you get when Wout Weghorst scores a goal. There's something about the man. You just have to love him. You just have to. I don't know why. He's just very, very, very likeable. I don't get it. But look, I wouldn't exactly take it as a sort of negative. The Weghorst is starting with Zirkzee. And international football is so different to club football. Zirkzee suits the system. Zirkzee suits a very progressive way of playing football. International football is barely that. The most progressive side I've seen at the Euros so far is Ralf Rangnick's Austria. Honestly, that's it. They are the most progressive, the most forward-thinking. Actually, no. Germany and the Nagelsmann have looked really good. Germany and Austria are the two best set up teams in the Euros to me. They are really, like, it's impressive how well it's set up. We have a little look for some more news. He's like a man possessed, Weghorst, says Alan Calvert. Does anyone here wish we kept about Weghorst? Anyone in the chat? I don't, but I'd love to know if any of you guys do. Adam Calvert says that Klopp should be on that Specsavers advert where that woman says about a kissing trial. Okay. Okay. Does anyone know? Kate says Vandik is brilliant, has silenced critics emphatically. I mean, yeah, silenced me completely. I was someone who really doubted really doubted about Vandik at United. I didn't love him. I didn't think he did very well here. I thought he lost the dressing room. I thought he didn't really commit that much. But it seems to me when a dressing room buys into him, they love him. Honestly, the celebration, you know how you can tell? Remember when Robin Van Persie scored that goal and ran straight over to Fergie to celebrate? And did the same with Van Halen, one of the... it was a World Cup, I think. They did that at Austria. Scored the goal, ran straight to Ralf Rangnick. Straight there. Do you know how much that means? Like, how much that, like, sort of represents as a club, as a country? They're so behind that man. They trust him. They are owing that goal, not to each other, not to the players around them, not to the goal scorer themselves, but the manager and the system he's implementing and the morale he's creating. And so, look, it's quite impressive, actually. I'm really quite envious as an England fan. Vandik mic drops as Adam Calvert. Mullivan says, I always fancied Ralph. I know these poor mentality players won't run for him. Looking back on it, maybe that was the case. Anyway, I've got distracted. Joshua Zirkzee. So easy to get distracted on stream sometimes, chat. You lot are awful for me. Just talking about Joshua Zirkzee, and here we are doing a deep dive on Austria's Ralf Rangnick. Good God. New mufcMPB. Ooh, let me check. Where'd you get that, mate? Oh, no, I did see that. The Portuguese lad, the one who scored in the last minute, has already scored 30 million euros. Anyone, how does everyone feel about that? Excited. Ronaldo seemed to love him after that goal. Chat, do you like that? Do you like that sort of deal? I know very little about him. I know he's ex-Ajax. He's at Porto. Going to very scarily say, I think he's at Porto, but I'm not too sure. I'm really, really not too sure. We've been really positive about Austria, really positive about Weghorst. Let's be a little bit negative right now, unfortunately, towards a Joshua Zirkzee deal and how we're moving more generally. Earlier we mentioned Dan Ashworth and the almost plodding pace we're making towards everything at the moment, whether it be Erik ten Hag, whether it be even Jarrad Branthwaite at this point, whether it be Joshua Zirkzee, whether it be Dan Ashworth, for reasons inside or outside of our control. Manchester United are in a plodding mood this transfer window. And chat, the question I asked towards you is, whose fault is it? Is it all on Ineos? Is it partly on Ineos? Do you think they could be doing anything differently? Should we be going to other targets quicker? Chat, let me know, because right now I'm really quite frustrated with the way, not really how Ineos are working, but just Manchester United in general. I'm coming on here every day, and at times it feels like I'm having to say the same thing again and again. Joshua Zirkzee, yeah, we're ahead of the race. Yeah, we're with his agent. Oh no, something's happened with his agent. Oh, now he won't decide. No, now he's deciding again. It's repetitive. In many ways, I'm quite bored of several of the sagas. I really appreciate all of you coming on and supporting. But good, I just don't... It's plodding right now. And it's really quite frustrating as a United fan when we're now getting into June, early July, and we're seeing Chelsea make moves. They're moving for, at least they're seeing Bayern Munich make moves. Chelsea going after Jonathan David now, a United target. To me, I love Jonathan David to go to Chelsea. Imagine Jonathan David, Nicholas Jackson front line. It's going to be great in 3 years' time. But for the first 3 years, it's going to suck. Someone called Pedro Almeida reported it. He is at Porto and he is the son of the recently departed Porto coach. Well, maybe wherever the coach goes, he'll go with him. Who knows? Mudavan says, it's like they have to write some articles daily, so they write the same thing again, mate. I mean, I'd love them to be creative. God, do I wish they were creative. Speaking about articles dropping, let's talk about Adrien Wan-Bissaka very quickly. Speaking about a plodding pace, Outgoings seems to be moving quite reasonably. Adrien Wan-Bissaka has verbally agreed on a contract at Galatasaray. Manchester United want 15 million euros for the right back, but Galatasaray are trying to reduce the fee to 10 million euros. Further talks are set to take place. First of all, far too cheap. Far too cheap. We should be getting so much more money for Adrien Wan-Bissaka, one of the best utility players in Europe. I don't think there's a fullback like him. I don't think there's a profile like him in world football. Name a player who can shut down Mbappe and Neymar like that. He gets caught in a cheating scandal, the night before? Doesn't comment on it. Rocks up, starts the next day in a back three with Tuanzebe next to him. He goes, yeah, you're not getting past me. And just shuts Mbappe out. To this day, one of my favourite performances of United shot I've ever seen. I love Adrien Wan-Bissaka for that constantly. But let me know, chat, do you think it's a fair price? £15 million, 50 million euros, sorry, so it's less than that. When Chelsea's selling an academy kid for £20 million to, like, what, Villa? Nah, I don't like it at all. I don't like that. Katie says on England they should borrow a leaf from Côte d'Or, from Ivory Coast at AFCON and replace Southgate immediately. Give it to Porter or anyone else to finish off the tournament with or anyone else to finish off the tournament with some respectability and style. It's not the English way. I don't think England will do that. The FA won't do that. FA will not do that at all. Robert says Javi Simmons to United. What about Casemiro transfer and Greenwood? We're getting on to Greenwood very soon. Some Greenwood news dropped yesterday. But that Wan-Bissaka news came out 2 minutes ago. Let me know, chat. Are we happy about this? Are you happy to see the back of Adrien Wan-Bissaka? Was he someone you quite like yourself? Let me know, chat. Let me know. And just cover Outgoings again very quickly. The Manchester Evening News made a report saying a deal for Mason Greenwood's departure from Manchester United could be struck this week. Juventus, Lazio and Napoli are all keen. What that's saying is we don't really know. No, that's harsh. Sorry, no. Sorry, that's very harsh. I'm scared of the word could in that report because it sounds like, I think we'll know it's going to progress this week. And I reckon it can progress close to finalising a deal somewhere. But I'm quite hesitant to say it will be concluded this week. I think the Manchester Evening News are the same. But again, chat, how much are you going to sell Greenwood for? If he's going for £35-40 million, how much should Adrien Wan-Bissaka go for? I think £20 million. I mean, but then again, Jarrad Joseph coming in with a contract talk saying, last year of contract and poor reputation, so 15 million euros is most we can get. I wish the situation was different. The rest of the Premier League clubs hate us and won't be helping us get a good fee. They don't hate us. We're just playing by the rules, unfortunately. Chat, do you want us to not play by the rules? Do you want us to cheat? Do you want us to go up to Arsenal and sell, I don't know, we'll throw Ethan Wheatley at them for £10 million, and if they send us another relatively high rated prospect, it's the same. Is that how you'd go about the deal, chat? Katie says, I'm reticent to lose Adrien Wan-Bissaka. He's uniquely qualified and is a great squad player. Impossible to replace and a useful tool to have. Exactly. KD, you've been coming with some excellent takes today, my friend. Always the voice of reason. But no, I think I agree with you. You know what? We spoke about Frimpong replacing Adrien Wan-Bissaka earlier. I said they're not like-for-like replacements, and they're not, but they're both utility players. Jeremy Frimpong is a utility player. He bombs forward. He's typically... There's not really a profile like him, a right back who's essentially a right winger. I've not been that impressed with him at the Euros, if I'm being completely honest with myself. But hey-ho. Jarrad Joseph says, last year of contract and a poor reputation, so 15 million euros is most we can get. I wish the situation was different. The rest of the Premier League clubs hate us and won't be helping us get a good fee. Sorry, I've already said that. Good Lord. You're right, mate. Daily Donna Diary. How are we doing? Speaking about the outgoings at the moment at the end of the stream, Mason Greenwood and Adrien Wan-Bissaka. I'm hoping for a little bit more news to end the stream. Just having a little look. I'm being told more news is coming. To see what news that might be. Give me a second. Sorry, chat. Just give me a second, chat. But no. Again, Al-Mabasaka is a player I don't want to leave. WY says we should sign Javi Simmons on loan, but we won't. Who is he linked with? Fab put out a tweet linking him to somebody. Let me check. And whoever gets Javi Simmons has done very well, personally. What a footballer. I really enjoyed him in the Netherlands. He said that Bayern and Leipzig are pushing to sign him. Bayern are doing good business. Imagine that. Elise, Musiala, Simmons, Kane, Sane. What a front line. God. I'm very jealous, chat. I'm very jealous. I'll call you Donna, mate. I'll call you Donna. So I'm just making sure if any more news is coming. But yeah, chat, let me know very quickly. Who is your player from the Euros? I'm saying this every stream at the moment, but so many games are happening. I can say it. Who is your player at the moment you're most keen on from the Euros, who United haven't been linked with, who you would want to come to Manchester United? Let me know. Let me know. If I was to go off the top of my head who I'd want. Ooh. I don't actually know. Let me think about that, chat. Let me think about that. But let's see yourself. Who would you like from the Euros to come to Manchester United? Let me know. Let me know, chat. Joseph says, keep Frimpong away. We complain about our wide defending and then people want Frimpong. Again, he'd be a utility player. I think he would be a right winger. He'd be a right wing back. He's a utility player, the same way Wan-Bissaka is. Yes, Wan-Bissaka can play as a right back in a normal system. I get that. And you know what? Frimpong is a right winger replacement. If we can't get anyone else in for like, what, £30 million? Maybe 25? Take that in a heartbeat. I'd take that and run with it personally. Any other opinions on any Euros players you guys would want? The Frimpong rumours have died down a little bit. Just see if there's any more news. I'm just asking my boss now if there's any more news coming, chat. Anana and Hoyland, says Jithy and Joseph. We've been linked to Anana. And you lot know I have a love fest for that man. I have quite a love-in with him. What's the host's name? My name is Alex, mate. Follow me on Alex Talks All on Twitter and TikTok. Hit the subscribe button as well, guys. Coming to the end of the stream soon. I'm making sure any more news is not going to come out, so stick around for 2 more minutes just to make sure. And then we'll get right into it. Just going to stick around for another minute or two, just to see. £35 million release clause is the Frimpong contracts. That's really reasonable. So as we're approaching the end of the stream, guys, if you've just come in or you've been here the entire time and you've just forgotten to hit the like button on that video, we're 4 likes away from 35 likes. I'd really appreciate you leaving a like on the video, guys. It would really make my day. David Hanko from Slovenia, a surprise signing from Euros players. You've been talking about him a lot, haven't you, Joseph? You've been talking about him a lot. Just making sure no more news. I'll give it a minute or two. Then we'll end the show. Bayern and Leipzig are looking at Simmons. Yeah, they are. Okay, chat. I think that's going to unfortunately be the end of the stream today. Not been that much news to discuss. Some exciting news, some really good conversation we've had today. I've really enjoyed. I'm here every day at 11 a.m. bringing you the latest and greatest United news. As always, I'm Alex at Alex Talks All. Please leave a like and subscribe on the video. Follow us on mufcMPB on Twitter to never miss a cent of United news. And as always, I'm here tomorrow, 11 a.m. I'll see you soon.